Hello yogis, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to this practice. Today we're going to be working with downshifting our energy. So sometimes the energy feels like it's all up here in our head or up a little bit above the heart center, and we feel like this energy is really jumping around and vibrating. We feel like we're all in our head and not really in our bodies. And because the tissues of the body from the belly button up are much finer and more subtle, this can be disorienting and really offsetting and kind of making you feel very overwhelmed and shaken and disconnected. What we want to do is we want to take this energy and we want to begin to push it down a little bit lower. And this can be used to push down energy that is just really too much for you to handle in this fine, subtle area of the body, and push it down into this, what we call much more gross areas of the body that are more dense tissue that can manage and handle and process that kind of extra energy down a little bit lower into the body. So in this practice, we're going to kind of visualize that, but you can also use kinesthetics. So you can begin by bringing your hands to your forehead or on either side of your head. Sometimes it feels like you kind of have like a headache almost. And kind of feeling that energy, softening your gaze, settling into your seat, closing your eyes if you want, and either using your fingertips or just resting your hands in your lap. Connecting to that energy. Becoming aware of your feet and your legs and your knees and your hips, your belly, your chest, your shoulders, your hands and fingers, and your head. And then if you want, kinesthetically, taking your palms facing down right about eyebrow level, and you're going to, as if you were pressing that energy down that's really too much, just take this energy of anger, grief, frustration, overwhelm, joy, anything that feels too much, and press it down as if you're kind of pressing it down with your exhale. Inhaling. Exhale, pressing it down. If you're not using your hands, just imagine that energy almost as if your palm is taking that energy and pushing it down a little bit, down from the center of your forehead, maybe down into the area of your cheekbones and jaw. Inhaling, and then exhaling, pressing that energy down. Using that exhale to help you. Maybe if the inhale, your hand pops up just a little bit, or you see that energy starting to rise again on the inhale. Exhale, feel that energy being pressed down a little bit more. Maybe down into the collarbones and shoulders. Feel your shoulders pulling down to the floor, the little bit weightiness, because we're pushing that energy down. If at any time you feel that energy kind of jumping back up, once again, inhale, then exhale, press that energy. Imagine pressing it down with your palm. Maybe pressing it down into the center of your chest. Maybe it takes a few breaths to really press it down into that space. Maybe the energy is really intense. Each exhale, keep pressing it down. Maybe it's down near the navel. Maybe down into the hips. Going down into the hips and legs. And starting again at the top, right at your eyebrows, just taking any lingering energy, that excess, moving it out of your head back into your body, that dense tissue of the lower body. Maybe it's a little easier to push down. Once you get back down to the very bottom, one more time, starting at the very top of your head, gathering those last remnants of energy. Maybe it's a lot of thoughts bouncing around in your head, or worry, or anxiety, or whatever's going on that's got you shaken and stirred. Press that energy down with your exhale. When you next get it pressed all the way back down into the hips and legs, just let your breath be whatever it is. Feel that the lower body is a little bit more heavy and dense, and the upper body may be a little lighter, offering a bit more space for you to just rest. Pushing that energy down to let it process in denser tissue. Allowing these subtle, fine aspects of your upper body to not feel quite so pressured or compressed. You can almost feel like you're in a pressure cooker. Sometimes we want to push that energy down. Notice if you feel more heaviness in your feet and legs and hips, like you're much more grounded. Whenever you feel ready, opening your eyes. Sometimes if you have like a stress headache or a lot of pressure in your head or upper body, this may relieve some of that. Take some nice deep cleansing breaths and blow it out through your mouth. This is a great way to use your breath and visualization, or even that kinesthetic movement of really moving that energy down into the body so it can be processed. This is not pushing it away or setting it aside. This is putting it down into the areas of the body that can process it a little more easily, because we have that density and that weight and bigger muscle groups, bigger bones, more depth to this area, it's more grounding. Getting out of our heads, back into our bodies, helps move that down. You can do this as often as you like, wherever you are, whenever you are, just to help kind of clear some of that energy out. I think you will notice after this that you will feel a little less anxious, a little less overwhelmed and stirred up. So let this kind of be one of those practices you use in your toolbox to help you downshift that energy a little bit. It's definitely one I use quite often in my own practice and in my own life to kind of take myself down into that more earthiness of the lower body. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope this helps you in your life. Have a wonderful day.